posting, you're speaking, you're doing everything they told you would grow your business. So why is it not converting? Because visibility is only half the equation. Getting attention is easy. Turning that attention into clients takes strategy. VoiceLab was built to solve that. This is where front-end visibility meets back-end conversion. You learn how to get on stages, create your own platforms, and use podcasts, summits, and workshops to grow your audience and generate real leads. Then you learn what most people never build. A system that captures those leads, follows up, nurtures relationships, and turns interest into revenue. Email and newsletter strategy that actually gets responses. Workflows, not just more noise. Real connection that leads to real business. Inside VoiceLab, you are not guessing. You're learning the how. You're implementing in real time. You're building a business that works even when you are not constantly chasing attention. Because here's the truth. If you don't have visibility, no one knows you exist. If you don't have systems, nothing converts. VoiceLab gives you both, so you can stop performing for attention and start building momentum that pays you back. If you are ready to grow your authority, expand your reach, and finally turn visibility into income, join Colleen Stubbs and Nicole Borghi in the VoiceLab. Scan the QR code, join VoiceLab Group on the school platform, and build the business that actually works.
Welcome to a world of unforgettable experiences and immersive marketing. Transform your events into extraordinary moments that captivate your audience. Whether it's corporate gatherings, product launches, or community celebrations, our immersive marketing solutions elevate your events to new heights.
Scan the QR code.
Immerse your attendees in a world of audio books and podcasts tailored to your brand. Engage their senses and leave a lasting impression. Explore the power of storytelling with our curated podcast content. From insightful discussions to entertaining narratives, we've got the perfect audio experience for your event. Ready to make your next event unforgettable? Scan the QR code now and book a complimentary immersive marketing call with our experts. Let's create memories together. Elevate your events with immersive marketing. Scan the code and let the magic begin.
All right. Welcome back, my friends. Welcome back to another edition of the Pain Point Podcast. And what are we doing? Where are we? Why are we here in the Weberverse of things? And welcome back. So I am here to bring you a little bit of blend of insights and entertainment and dive right into online solutions for entrepreneurs, especially entrepreneurs in 2026 who are coming hard and heavy from corporate America. Whether you got pink slipped, and we're sorry, but we're glad you're here. And so we're going to give a few snippets into what's going on in the entrepreneurship world that's going to help you in your business. It's going to strengthen you, and it's going to provide you that team and maybe some of those departments and the outsource things that you need that you're not quite familiar with navigating, and just bringing some enlightening, immersive experience here. And who am I? Well, I am glad you asked. I'm the hostess with the mostest of the Pain Point Podcast, VoiceLab. And you know what? I'm bringing with you today event to scale visibility. And that's what I do every day. That is my passion. It is what I do for business. And it's really sharing that leverage of what we're using as a marketing machine. And a podcast is a great way to do it. A summit, a workshop, a masterclass, and groups right now, especially on the school platform, are thriving and growing because people want better engagement and they want to influence their audience. It's such an immersive way when you start to utilize the virtual stage and you come in and you become the public speaker out there in the world. That is because you take this and you can formulate it into content. It is a marketing machine. And if you're using a marketing budget, what a better way than for people to hear from you and be part of your world. And that's what we're doing. I'm gonna put some information in the chat. We've got some upcoming master classes and workshops on the Voice Lab on the school platform. And that's where we're helping simplify your life, whether you're coming on the stage and working the back office or both. How do you navigate those fields so you work successfully, automate, delegate, affiliate, and then come on the stage and speak to your people. You want few and different great revenue streams in your business because you are now taking over from that corporate mentality of how you got your bonuses or your Christmas bonus or your sales bonus or whatever you raise. You're giving yourself the raise right now. We want you to raise your roof and we want you to lead. So let me bring my guest in today. Summer, I am so glad you're here today. This is awesome. I am glad you're here. Tell everybody a little bit about who you are because we had a great conversation backstage and people want to hear about what you do because you do some pretty cool things.
I do. Thank you. And so happy to be here, Nicole. I've been looking forward to this. I am professionally a digital marketer and lovingly called the Get Shit Done coach because I teach strategy and productivity so that my clients can get a bigger bottom line. And I'm also curator at Connections and Fab Collabs. It's a community for solopreneurs, growth oriented people who want to not do it alone anymore. Those are the kind of people that thrive in my community. Wrote a book called Stop Mind the Gap. It's all about coaching practices and coaching stories from my past. That's a little bit of who I am.
Well, that's great, and thanks for sharing that because we have gone in a few circles and we have done some things and we've got some future collaborations on that back burner. And I love this working with you and being part of your world. It's really what can we do to market ourselves and it's that feeling, that relationship building, and everybody throws that know, like, and trust around hot and heavy, but they don't really understand what that means to find those people who are going to collaborate with you. And it would seem, on paper that, hey, maybe we are more of a challenger and competition with each other, but instead, we have different types of forms and strategies and structures that we use, and sometimes, appearing on each other's stage. Or I had the pleasure a few months back of being on one of your summits, and it's just saying, hey, we're collaborating. Everybody wants a little bit of a flavor. We're unique and different, so that way we can both stand out and shine and serve the public in the best way that we can. But let's get into this because we were talking, definitely about the relationship building. And when people are coming into networking, a lot of the problem I see right now is that, especially people coming in from corporate America, they all had, right? They all had a business, they had departments that they worked with, and they had these large budgets. Let's just say like Nike or Hewlett Packard, IBM. You would have
Mhm.
these large marketing budgets to bring people to you, and they would get filtered out. So you got to cut all that through. But now, as a solopreneur and entrepreneur, you got to do it and tread the water yourself. So
Mhm.
what's a great way for them to not really fake it till they make it because they're an expert in their business, but it's going to pivot a little bit. It can damage people's businesses and not help them. So what's really the cost of pretending that you're something else that you are, but just kind of just trying to navigate the water and be yourself when you're coming into a group and networking and getting to connect with people? What's the best way that they can, just stop faking it, or, remember that you're human and people want to
Mhm.
connect with you as the entrepreneur. They don't want to connect with you as the manager or the CEO from a large corporate America, right? It's a different flavor in your personality, isn't it?
Yeah, it is. And fake it till you make it is a thing of the past. I don't believe in that anymore. The thing is, if you come in with a perspective of I've already made it, visualize where you want to be and what you want to do and how you want to come across and be that person. Stop faking and bring in more clarity. I see a lot of people, what they do is like they create confusion around who they are. It does not look dramatic from the outside. It looks like doing a lot, going to every single networking meeting that they have, tweaking their offers so that they look good to people that are in the networking room. But they're working so hard underneath. You can see people in the room can see that they don't have a clear or clean direction. Moving and not moving forward, it's a kind of confusion that drains your revenue, and also it feels scattered because people don't understand what you're trying to do, and people cannot hire you if they don't know what you're doing, and you feel awkward, you feel inconsistent, you feel exhausting to be around. I work with people who desperately want to hit 5 figures, and their best way to do it is they go into every networking room and pitch, 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 and pitch, and then wonder why they're not working. And they tell me, I've been to 8 networking events this week somewhere, and not one single one worked. I'm never going back. Consistency is one big thing that they really, really, really need to learn, I think. A lot of people come to mind right now, those that said, oh yeah, I network all the time. And where does that lead you? Actually, nowhere. Because one thing you don't have is the clarity behind what you do, the clarity behind what you want, or the clarity behind what you want people to take away. Does that make sense?
It totally does, the clarity in your message and the support. If you were in corporate America, 100%, you have a team. If you're truly a leader, and it just was on Jesper's summit yesterday, and he was talking about being a founder. So a founder in your business, and he does deal with teams of smaller businesses, but small entrepreneurship that does have a staff, and a lot of that conversation was really about the leadership and following along and relationship building and absolutely being there. You have to build a relationship with the people around you and that trust factor. If you're in corporate America, and this is where people forget, or maybe they don't know, they don't understand what it means to work in corporate America or work with a team. So that strategy and structure absolutely has to be there. You've got to stop, recreating your business every 5 minutes. But if you're coming out of corporate America, remember that these are people, these are your neighbors, these are the people you go see at the grocery store. These are the people maybe you see at church or some type of community. These are parents in the PTA. Remember, these are the people you're working with. It is not a large faction. But what you can take from that is that the group of people where you were having a mastermind or a conference and you have people in a different department, you do have to get to know them. You buy them a coffee, maybe you brought some donuts in, you're breaking the ice. We don't need to know every personal detail about you, but what you have and you're bringing to the table is leadership, and you are bringing strategy in there. You're bringing the team building. It works the same here, but now you have to find your new team. And you have to do it all by yourself. You can hire
Absolutely.
PR people, but how many times are you going to hire somebody to get into a digital magazine that you can create yourself nowadays, thanks to chat and all these other Claude and all this other things? And it does have a conscious now, so that's a whole nother story. But it is a sentient being at this moment. That's what we're saying. I'm not sure if it was Claude or it was another AI, but anyway, but you know, that's over there. What are you
Mhm.
really paying for? You're paying for that PR person, the public relations, and this is what you do when you build a stage and you are aligned with the other speaker. You are connecting with them. Don't just show up to the stage
Mhm.
and come in just like a networking group. Don't just show up and leave. You've got to be there. You've got to stay in support. I mean, I was probably there in the summit. I had absolutely blocked off about 5 hours that I could be there as much as I could. If I had to step away for the call, I still had the summit playing and I could still converse in the chat. And I think that's so important in relationship building. If you're not building those relationships and you're not steady, tried and true, how do you expect people to engage? It's so crazy. People show up, whether they pay or not. They show up, they come in just 5 minutes before, leave 5 minutes after, if that, and run away and never comment on anybody else's stuff. Isn't that relationship building as well?
It's kind of not. It's kind of showing people who you are. Human approach. When we connect two computers together in a network, the computers start talking to each other right away, like they've known each other for years, because there's a code that connects them. But we are people, we are humans. We don't work that way. And you're talking about summits where you decide to speak on a summit and you stay there and you want to be known as the person who spoke at this summit. You want to be known as a people connector, as a people person. So you would stay there like exactly the same way I do. I like to co-host, give the host some extra help, extra support, and bring in what I can possibly do. Being staying back long before your talk starts and staying long after your talk ends shows me one thing as a host, which you did for my summit as well. One thing I clearly noticed was you were there and you were encouraging other people. What is that doing for those people, the people that are speaking at any given time? They glance in the chat and then Nicole is saying, "Yes, you said that right, girl, and I'm all with you." And they tend to remember you more, and probably after the summit they'll catch up with you, they'll follow up with you, they'll start a relationship with you. Relationship building, when the relationship builder is absentee, doesn't work. Human approach starts with human first. Be human, doesn't matter if you make boo-boos. Talk, be open, be nice, be kind, and be interested more than be interesting. I've seen people approach this differently. People come in with a perspective of, I'm the most interesting person and I want to influence everybody. And I am great. I did this, I did that. You are just making people fall asleep or walk away. Instead, be interested. Take a look at what people are doing. Honestly, genuinely comment on what they're doing. Praise them. They remember you better. People always remember how you make them feel.
100% they do. And speaking of people supporting today, I do want to say there's Enlightened Enchantress in the chat on YouTube saying hello. Jeff Veals over there. Hey, ladies, from the business guru between calls. And he's still
Hey,
saying, hey,
Jeff.
the hustle is real. What a great guy supporting. There's Pink Cloud 9 Media on here saying hello. Summer is
Hey, Pink.
amazingly awesome. You're great. So people are saying hello. They're here for support. So there's a few other people that I'm going to look for. But this is exactly what we're talking about. There's people here showing interest right here in real time. It's a faction of building the relationship and just saying hello. Maybe if they have questions, if you guys have questions, definitely put in the chat. We're glad you're here supporting and subscribing and doing all the wonderful, cool things that we ask you to do so we can go and support you as well. But it's business connections that we've identified from other wonderful places out in the Webverse. Let's get into that. It also gets deeper when we're connecting and we're human and we're trying to be ourselves. That doesn't mean bring the nasty self, but it also doesn't mean, right? Well, keep certain factions of that back, right? But the other thing is you know in this world, there's this toxic positivity. I don't know about
Mm,
you, but I remember as a kid, if we went to a steakhouse, they weren't like, "Hi, oh my gosh, how are you?" It wasn't that old school Walmart greeter like, the robot. "Oh my gosh,
yeah.
how are you? It's so great. Glad you're here." Ah, da, da. Like putting your name on the Starbucks cup. I don't care what you name my coffee. Just give me the cup of coffee. I don't care. You don't know me. I've never been in this Starbucks. I don't feel flattered at all by it. But if you say hello, that makes me feel good. If you say, "What would you like to drink?" That makes me feel great. Versus if you're standing behind the counter texting someone and showing pictures of your hind end to the coworker and you're not paying attention to the line of 10 people out the door. Now, so so when we look at this, how can we get away from truly, like, I don't know about you, but my smile, I haven't had plastic surgery. I know you guys can tell, but I am 53. But you know what? I haven't had that Joker smile, so I don't have that stuck on my face. How do we get away from that kind of toxic positivity and find that fine line where not everything's great, which doesn't mean that you have to be the keyboard warrior behind your screen saying
Hmm.
nasty things. It just means that maybe that post isn't for you, but there's another way to comment. So when we're looking at growth and engagement, especially in the digital age, how do you do that? Because people want some type of conversation. And if you can't find the answer, maybe you can get some suggestions from chat. Just make sure check your post, right?
Mhm,
But
mhm.
but how do we get it where it's not like everything's great, everything's wonderful, all the time? Because we still need to get to business. We need to be professional. And you're the GSD, right? You're the get shit done coach. You want to get out there, you want to move. And
Mhm.
that's what intrigues me about having conversation with you. How do we get from the kind of CEO and you're just in the background, being the driver, but yet you don't want to fake it all the time with the toxicness.
Toxicness totally gets me down. Well, here's the thing. I haven't felt it come through me. I have always been very direct and very straightforward. And if I don't like the way you're smiling, I'll tell you to your face. And if you can say that straight to somebody's face that I don't like the way you're smiling, that I think comes across as a genuine person rather than a faker. And fakeness, yes, people can smell it from miles away. You know how people go like, "You're great. She's amazing." Deep inside I go like, "Yeah, right. Okay, what next?" Let's cut through that. It's not that I want to come across as a rude person to tell people to stop doing that, and just go like, "Okay, fine. I'm great. I'm annoying. Let me tell you, I'm a pain in your somewhere. But what is it that you want from me?" And when you talked about posting, yes, you don't have to agree with every single thing that the person says in a post. I do LinkedIn posting parties, and sometimes people tell me that they have such a tough time agreeing with this post because it doesn't resonate with me, but I have to participate because I'm a participant. Okay, it is totally all right without offending someone to bring an opposite point of view. And there is me again, the direct, get shit done person, where action comes first. And if I lie about something and say something is great, then I have to remember that lie and keep telling them that was great for the rest of my life, which is going to just drain my energy because I don't feel it in my heart. So I feel free to come across with an opposite point of view. I say what you're saying is great, but it here's how it doesn't resonate with me, and da 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 da. Da. And if people are open to receiving natural comments, honest, down to earth comments, that's in their stride. But there are people who get offended. They don't want to talk to me anymore. That's fine. It's not my problem. You have just shown me who you are.
I love that. It's not your problem. It's no one's problem. And I
Mhm.
really, 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 and I tell people about this in my journey because I came from such a structured background, but my deep background, how I was a hairdresser before I went to the police academy. So I mean, I was born in Silicon Valley, so there's two different parts of me, right? There's the woo, there's the crystal Reiki master, there's the old hairdresser, and I was in fashion. And then there's that structure that I needed so deeply, and
Mhm.
coming from the strategy and structure and realizing that if you're a driver and you drive and there's a mission, a purpose, a team, a leader, and stuff does travel downhill. And if you're the manager, you get it from both ends, right? It seems like it goes up and down at the same time. But it
Mhm.
was accountability, and it was such it's very hard for me because there was so many people that I was networking with, and it was like, you need this, you need that, you should be more this. So I stepped back and I didn't, there was like, hey, I don't care for this and I shouldn't have to explain this. There was a bit of a time where I really stepped back and I was just like, there was times it was like, hey, what's your opinion? You don't want my opinion. You don't want my opinion, because it's triggering to you. Do you really want my opinion? Because if you're asking me, I'm absolutely going to tell you. So I'm giving you the warning now. Here's a box of tissue, and I kind of felt that way for a while. And it was that balance on, am I just being a huge driver or an angry person, and there was some faction of that, and coming into the professionalism of what is today, and that
Hmm.
pendulum swinging to say, hey, let me just call it out, having to call it out and having to say, what is that real truth? And I think it's so important to say it, but it's how you say it, it's how you share it, and how you're like, hey, I
Mm-hmm.
feel this way, this is why I feel this way, this is my experience. And don't before you start telling me I'm wrong, because there's so many people in the groups that say this, and I want to call this out publicly, because it's like, hey, if we're truly letting people feel their feelings, then when someone disagrees with you, it's okay to say that. And it's come through into networking so much, and it's
Mm-hmm.
so hard. So I think it's just a good conversation to have, but let's move on. And you find that you're having more fun when you're so truthful, because I can't remember the lie. I've literally had family members jailed on perjury or pass a lie detector test with a lie because they were so good at lying. And I'm like, I can't remember. I literally cannot remember that lie. So, good luck with that. It's just too hard. And it's such a fine line, because if you have clients, then they don't understand what their expectations are. I think that gets into the clear message. So, when we look at this, is a lot of behind the scenes stuff, and I think it's great because you want to let this out. But there's so many people that are overwhelmed, or they're unclear in their messaging and in their conversation, which
Hmm.
comes into that trust. And if we strip that away and we're affecting people in a leadership, how has it really helped your business? I think it's so good because I see the same people. I don't see you changing the group of people you're in, and the
Hmm.
people that support you. And I know I've gone to places where I've heard so many people say great things about you. Truly, truly great. Not, oh, she's the best, not that. But the truth is, and they've been able to give the testimony of why, and
Hmm.
actually be able to answer the why, because you're supportive, because you're truthful, because you're open, you're honest, and you do a really good job at what you do. And so that community is still supporting you, where I've seen other people fail because their group have evolved. Yeah, there's people that leave and come back.
Hmm.
But, those customers, those clients, and the networking that you have, and the group of people that you have that support you is so strong. And I think it's a tell of time. How does that work in your business? Because you've had other businesses too. I believe you had some brick and mortars.
Hmm.
What is that expertise that you would give people to say so true and so strong?
First thing is, let's stop shooting ourselves. The one thing I hear from a lot of coaches who I fire right away when I hear the words should do this. You should be on social media. You should do this. You should do that. Coming from a perspective of doing what feels good to me, I totally believe in everybody's energy. Like if you don't want to be an expert on LinkedIn, don't be an expert on LinkedIn. And in my coaching, I help people create simple decision filters. Any decision that you want to take doesn't have to be as complicated as it belongs in a spaceship. Just bring in practical clarity of what you want to do. Like, what do you want to focus in this quarter? What's your primary offer? And what do you want to feel like as a solopreneur? So what is the audience problem that we're talking about? So what gets a yes right now for you and what gets a no? And one thing I love telling people is, don't be afraid of saying no. Say no, because no is a complete sentence. You don't need to explain yourself to every single person that says, why can't you buy my program, or why can't you invest in this? The support you're talking about, I'm jumping from one thing to another because my mind is racing because I have way too many things to say, Nicole. um, Distractions that feel free up your energy is what we need, and not more shoulds and buts and When your energy is not leaking all over the place, I think it becomes easier to receive support, to give support, to be the person that you want to be instead of trying to please everybody. Pleasing everybody, that's another energy drainer. For me, it's not a soft concept. It's not a pretty word. Yes. Yes is not a pretty word. Should is not a pretty word. You know what are pretty words for me? Clarity. Clarity. Clarity doesn't mean you write something in a planner on Monday and then erase it on Tuesday because it doesn't feel right today. Clarity needs to be operational. So what do you need your clarity on? When you said the people that keep changing in the community, one thing I noticed when I took an inventory a week ago, I took a look at everybody that said yes to me when I started the community and how many people are still with me. 96% of the people are still with me. Yes, I lost two people, credit card issues or something they did that shouldn't be doing in a community. But most of the people that started with me stayed with me. And I asked people like, why? Why did you decide to invest in KFC and decide to stay and keep paying me month after month? And that's exactly what they say, the honesty and the support and calling it out. If I feel like, okay, this is not right, you shouldn't be doing certain things this way because it's hurting other people. And people take the advice very seriously. A lot of people say they want community, but what they actually want, I think, is proximity. They want to be in Facebook groups, they want to be in everybody's email lists. There are they are in rooms that other business owners own. They know a lot of names, but when things get hard, when they need a referral, when they need feedback, when they need accountability or real conversations, there's nobody there in a meaningful way if you just belong in somebody's Facebook group. So that's what I call a support gap. And KFC is trying to bridge that support gap. Everybody supported so that their dreams come true. The one thing I ask people when they come into the community, into meetings, what does success mean to you? What is your dream? Like, is it your own dream or is it something that somebody else has for you? I think that's one of the reasons why the community support means a lot to me. I'm not just interested in building a place where people can, collect contacts and exchange referrals and do it like a robot. I want human spaces. I want human, real opportunities that only human emotions can bring in practical ways. So that means the community has a lot to do inside than it looks outside. It's not just numbers.
Well, 100%. And there's a few comments in here I want to say it totally got the juices flowing on Colleen. Good morning. And she's like, No, you should do what fits you 100%. Yeah, basically, don't waste your energy, right? She says she cannot clap loud enough. No is a complete sentence.
Thank you,
100%.
Colleen. I like Colleen stuffs.
100%, 100%. And it's okay. It doesn't help boost the algorithm in your group if you got a lot of people here. I've noticed those crazy Facebook groups of all those people. There's these old groups of 25,000 members and nobody's posting in there. And it's just the admin over and over again, but or the admin is like, at least you should have your virtual assistant come in there and reach out to people and
Engage with
encourage
everybody.
people. Yeah,
Hmm.
engage with people. It's just crazy to me that there's just zero engagement, but people are still stuck on those 40 and up, are still stuck on Facebook. I don't want to see what you're eating today or you're pretending to eat about your salad. Don't care. And I really don't want to hear your family drama. And that's why I stay off Facebook. And you know what? Stop taking pictures of other people's problems and what's going on in their day, and don't take pictures of people's license plates. You don't know what they're at the Olive Garden for.
Hmm.
You know,
Hmm.
you're posting TMI, too much information. We're constantly online, so it's supposed to help us behave, and it's making us worse. But with that, when we're being positive, we're being healthier about our relationship building and the people that we're with, That's really why I love the school platform with Voice Lab, is sharing that. And you guys, I just want to take a moment to say that, and I'm going to, I did list the speaker form in there, so you guys can go fill that out in Voice Lab, and I did post that in LinkedIn, and I'm going to share some more of that. You guys will see that every week. If you want to DM me, you can reach out or put something, a comment, something on YouTube, and I'll share that with you. There are stages that we're going to collaborate with people and bring their stages for you to speak on. More summits, more workshops, lunch and learn, master classes. So if you have a stage you want to guest on, absolutely, we have that. If you want to speak on the stage and you have a great talk, share that and put that on the form as well. Also, there's a few more spots for Plot Twist Summit. We've got some great collaborations with Mary Ferris that we're bringing to light on there. And there's a great product we're launching. And so I'm excited about that. I want to tantalize you with that. It's all about your front end, your back end, your boost, your caboose and all that. And getting out there, some public relationships, book writing, all kinds of author support that's going to be in there. And the authority code, there's a few more spaces for that. And I'm getting ready to publish some of the speakers that have been approved for that. And that's all about sharing how you influence your group. How do you lead the way with your group? Not just mindset, but what do you really do? Let's really talk about the thing that you do. Not the overall arching umbrella. Let's really get down to what it is that you do, your strategy, your structure of what you do behind the scenes and in front of the scenes, building relationships, curating your group. How do you move them? What's that secret sauce that you share? Share a couple tips on there and really work with people on the stage. This is your chance to get on speaker panels, have a great discussion, be a guest on the Paint Point podcast. That's all part of the package, and get some leads. So that's exactly what you're looking for. And I'm very generous. And I think it's a gift of giving leads, is because you're kind of, sometimes it feels like you're renting an audience, but a stage is a great way to collaborate. And so when we're talking for you, when people coming on the stage, I know it's so different in this day of AI and people not engaging out there. When we're talking summits, it's just not a one and done. Not only should you support the other speakers, and no, I think the best and the highest ticket sales that I've seen on my stages and other stages are from the other speakers because they're aligned. So therefore that audience is aligned, and everybody's out thinking it's a pitch fest. But not only are you curating relationships, but those other speakers are your potential clients. For you, what's that experience there? What do you see with speakers and them not staying and supporting the group, that they might miss something that's so important for their business, and they might miss out on that client as the other aligned speaker in the room, right?
Mhm. Seen that several times. People that just come in 5 minutes before their talk and leave 5 minutes after, don't stay behind for answering questions or just being there. Where when you come into a summit as a speaker, you are already an authority and people are looking up to you. People want to connect with you, but they can only do that when you're right there. And several times when speakers are speaking, I tell them that by the time they're done, once you're done, put your LinkedIn in the chat or put your contact details in the chat. I'm surprised at how many people, how many speakers don't do it. Like what would happen? People would get in touch with you and that would like hurt your business or something like that? Because I don't get it. I thought you are here for visibility. And how are you going to be visible if you're not going to be staying there? Like I admire how you stay back and support other speakers, support the host whenever you are in a summit. A lot of people don't get that, and that's exactly why I have a speaker briefing before, like a month before I do the summit. I make sure that I tell people to make enough time to clear the calendars and just be there as much as they can, because people come in and out and they have a chance to reciprocate with so many people. And that doesn't happen sometimes because they decide to be too busy. This room is not good enough for me, is one perspective. one point of view that people come in with. And in communities like mine, I watch people find collaborators, find other speaking opportunities, but just being there, create referral partners, just take a look at who else is in the room, and how can I get a visibility boost in this person's community? How can I get accountability partners? Who is in the room who is just like me? Speakers have done that. The ones that are really intentioned, well intentioned, they come in looking for what other speaker is in my caliber, what other speaker can I become a referral partner to. These are not tiny extras. I call them business accelerators. That comes from your mindset, not from a textbook. Referral partnerships, I think, are a huge part of this too. When you're on a summit as a speaker, all other speakers are your equals. I believe business owners can grow faster when they see this particular thing.
You're so right on. It's the collaboration too. It's the growth and it's the support. And
Mhm.
if people aren't buying your stuff, that's why you feel like you constantly have to change in your business, and what you're doing because you're not building right, because you're not coming with your A game and you're staying to support and be with those people and support them. Those are your collaborators. Those are people you're going to affiliate with, and that's another stream of money you're losing out on.
Mhm.
And I bring people when I bring them to the stage. I also offer them the ability to affiliate if they want to affiliate their product with me or affiliate my product. I can absolutely share you with my email list. I can share you with the other speakers. I can absolutely promote that even more. Of course, I'm going to promote that. I want to make money. I want to support you, and I want you to make money. But I got to verify that you're going to be there tomorrow. And that's what we're doing in the Voice Lab, and that's what I do with all my stages. Is if you have something and you're not relatable and you're not supportive, then why would I promote your product?
Mhm.
So I think that's the whole thing is where you're losing out on the money, and it's so there, it's so deep. And I know you've got to run. I did put your LinkedIn in everywhere. Is there anywhere else you want people to find? Because I know you have great networking groups and great stages for speakers. So I want to make sure that to share that with you. Is there anywhere else they need to find you?
I would love people to take a look at my Facebook group and join it if they want to. The group, of course, the Facebook group is free to join, and everything that we do is posted in there. It's called Connections and Fab Collabs, and I can share that link with you right away.
Yeah, absolutely. If you want to drop it here, I will drop it for everyone for you. And we're gonna go out in just a second, guys. So we'll head out, go to commercial, and we'll drop that in there. So thank you so much for being here, Summer. It's been an awful. It's been an awesome.
The
Sorry,
truth comes out. The truth comes out.
Freudian
It's been
slip.
so awful.
Uh, it's been an awesome. It's been an awesome chat. See, and you can laugh because you're human, and I love that. And thank you so much for being here, you guys. I got the Facebook group in there. You guys have a
Thank you
great
for
day.
having
We're
me here,
glad you're
Nicole.
here. Bye bye. Bye bye. Let me get this on the way out.
I love being in places and being with people that make me laugh and laugh with me. Laugh at
Absolutely.
me, but with me, and
By you, next to you, here with you. I'll laugh. Bye bye. Bye bye.